Hello, okay, next kit on the desk. It's the Armstrong Whitworth Gloster Meteor Night Fighter Mk.14, which they've called the last of the night fighters. I got a very dramatic thunderstorm there, and to go with a lightning flash on the insignia of that squadron. Again, top opening box from Special Hobby. Put that aside. We'll have a little look at the instructions first. Now, as usual, we've got a nice sprue map showing all the parts that are not to be used. So this is obviously based on a tooling which was for multiple versions, but helpfully they've crossed off what not to use. The the cockpit itself is quite in detail, quite a lot of it to put together. You've got the central section there, which is made up of a couple of different parts, and we've got various supporting parts there to go over the top of it, or either side of it, and you've even got the control panel itself to be manufactured, glued together, and all little other parts to go on the inside of the cockpit area. Two-seat version this is. Give the pilot a bit of workload relief to have somebody else operating the radar, I'd imagine, and all the other target acquisition things. Two seats, as I say, bucket seats rather than the traditional headrested ejector seats that you'd expect, but I'm not certain when ejector seats came in, or whether these had some sort of equivalent, but this is the 1950s again, and as you can see, if I hold it still for a minute, there's a very detailed cockpit which you can do a lot of extra detail, super detailing of it, I'm sure. Various underside parts to include, and then the whole thing goes together into the side of the fuselage. Got parts of the engine to be put together there. Well, I don't know what these different parts of the engine are. They're various motors to start it up and keep it going, as you'd want in an engine, isn't it? Really keep the engine going. If the engine is going, that's good news, otherwise you're a very heavy glider. But not much of a anyway, so you got a whole engine section there which drops in, and I'm not sure what some of these parts are, but it tells you exactly when to drill things out and bits to cut away, and as you just hope for. Now immediately, I don't know if you've seen my other video of the Mark IV from Special Hobby, but they reboxed the NPM. Now this may not be an NPM kit, because the way the wheel wells are arranged, instead of one piece which you slot in, there's 4 pieces of the sides to put together, unless of course there's another kit released by NPM which did it that way. It's quite modular. You've got the top joining onto the wing section, which is already pre-built there. Build that first, then you put that together. I always find this sort of step quite basic, because you just put the tail on, but it needs to be included. And another thing which makes me think it isn't an NPM kit is because instead of telling you use a bit of plastic rod to make your own what's the word? Mudguard, strut support, you got it coming with you. It's the 2-part wheel thing. It's all molded in place. But the best thing, there's the doors and all various operating parts of the doors and the wheels. But my favourite part, I looked at this earlier, you've got actual, I think it's focusing, there we are, thank you. The wheels, the front undercarriage door has lights to put in, and you paint the back of it in the surface colour. So you got little lights sticking out of the undercarriage door. I think that's pretty good, I do. I'm not easily pleased, but little detail like that, see, because people could quite easily just mold it in and tell you to paint it silver like they do sometimes. People do. Various tanks telling you where to put the holes or where to glue the I don't know if you can measure 9.5 millimeters and 5.5 millimeters from the area there, but they don't have a mask in this one, but they tell you that what is available on that code. So all of it together there, you can see nice busy cockpit with the 2-part canopy, and you've got various options of parts to have in the back behind the cockpit to indicate when it's open and closed. I suppose that part rolls back. Interesting thing is the number of versions we got. We've got 4 versions. Got a one on the box, which is from Tengi, Singapore, and such places. You've got the Church Fenton Squadron of which was 85 Squadron, and this particular aircraft was flown by a Czech pilot, so that's probably why they included this one, because the company is from Czechia. That's it's called now, I think. That's good. I might get this, build this one actually, because I like the Czech scheme. it's Czech, it is, it's Czech. Joke. It's not supposed to be a joke, but it's a funny linguistic coincidence that the one from the Czech pilot is the one with the Czech on the side of the aircraft. French test pilots, test aircraft, which flew until 1989 according to this. So that's a bit of an old workhorse, and they used the airframe for various radar equipment and countermeasures work, it says there. There's a good thing about Special Hobby, they get a lot of history on it. This was number Mk.14 from number 264 Squadron in Linton-on-Ouse. That's Ouse. That's a linguistic joke again. And there's the little map on the side to show all the stencil details, of which there are quite a few. Okay, on to what you want to see. Got a nice large bag, single bag of screws and all the decals you've got here. In a nice plastic bag as well, that keeps them fresh and clean and scratch resistant. They're good. I think they're good. Nice, decent quality. You've got 2 options for the front end of the canopy, and then there's the back hood or canopy there, and that's nicely bagged up. And then you've got the main sprue here. Got the different control instrument panels. They can be improved when you're painting them, I'm sure. Got a nice long, the size of that. You see how how the aircraft is much bigger with the nose on the front and the larger tail. One of the ultimate Meteors. Different parts. The side cockpit. There, see? There's some detailed shot for you. If I can get that to focus in, then there we are. Look at that. A lot of detail there. You can have fun weathering and painting up. And there's the parts of the wheel well, pardon me. Gurgling here. But it's all finely moulded. Can't see any, if any, very little, if any. I can't think of the words at the moment. Flaws on it, you know, no what's the word? Flash. That's the word. No flash on it. I can see. You got where the front wheel comes up inside the by the front pilot's seat. front aircrew seat. Over there, 2 more bucket seats. Then you've got the internals of the jet, part of the engine part. A little bit of they wouldn't matter because they won't show up there, the extrusion things. Similarly in the they've included them in the tanks, so probably that's a good place to have them, which hides them. Single piece nose wheel, and here's your engine 2 times as you'd hope for, and the main wings, which although you don't get external, you don't get air brakes which come out like on the Airfix one, but you have got nice finely moulded panel lines, recessed panel lines. That's as much detail as I'd be happy to have. Plenty there. And this part here which has come off, but it's not lost, it's in the bag. So before I forget, I'll put that straight back in, so I can't complain about it when it's not there. It is there now. So there we are. I'll do that after the video. Anyway, it's talked long enough. There we are, the special hobby reboxing baby, excuse me stretching, of the Armstrong Whitworth version Meteor, built Meteor Mk.14. Alright, ta-ra now.